Hello and welcome to LIS4365. My name is Dr. Friedman and I will teach you about web technology. Specifically, I will teach you about JavaScript and PHP. And in that, I will also cover a lot of how to generate graphic interface to your website and how to connect this data to a database. So that's the short version of what we are going to do in this class. I gave you examples of the work that you are expected to show. I gave you outline examples of work in the class by students. I want to go over with you about the learning outcome. You're going to design a website that entails real-time processing capabilities with the graphic interface, which means that whatever I will teach you with code, I will also teach you with regard to how to support your code with graphical interface that in the end will make the interface of your website more accessible or more feasible so everyone will understand or be able to communicate. So the objective or the goal of this class is that you will have the knowledge how to generate or create a dynamic website. In this class, we are going to go over an online book that I highly recommend. It is about modern introduction to programming and it's JavaScript. And the idea of the book is going through each single aspect and going through what is values in programming, what is types, what is the operators in that type, and how we manipulate that in order for us to generate the effect that we like to see in our JavaScript. And so it will break down all the elements that I will talk about throughout my lectures in the class. So the strategy in the class will consist of online lectures. As I said, today is not going to be a long lecture, but from module number 2 until the end, it will consist of at least 40 to 50 minutes lecture that I will go over each aspect of the programming code that we're going to cover, JavaScript or PHP, and we are going to see how it applied and implemented. I am very keen about, in the end, what can you show and what can you promote in order for you to get the next job. So the objective of the class is that you're going to create, as I said before, you're going to create your own website. You're not going to use the website that the university provide, but you're going to use a free hosting company called zerofees.net. And it is, I don't want you to pay for it. I want you to use the free hosting services that will give you PHP flags and marker, FTP, file manager, webmail, and MySQL, which is, again, I will explain those terminology later on today, but this is where I want you to use in order for you to apply and develop. So the final project is 55% of the grade. If you do not like this website, if you can find an alternative website, that will be fine, but in the end I want to see at least some work with database in form of MySQL and a website that will support that, and I'll try to show you how it be done using zerofees.net. So again, I hope the outline that as class schedule is what I covered. You're going to do a lot of reading in this class from a textbook, and so because the text is free, you can go over that, read it, and so I hope you will enjoy that, as students in the past reported that they really enjoy that. So general background about web technology, a guide, I gave you three articles that I think will give you some guidance, a guides to different web technology and how they're related. And this is a good article or post, and the best web design trends in 2019, and I'll talk about that later on. I also gave you links for graphic on the web, and I want you to use USF Adobe Creative Cloud for design for you, and you do not need to pay for it. And so I gave you the link. You need to log on. I cannot show you the log on because you need to have your own username and password to the canvas in order for you to get this opportunity. I think it's worth it, the price and or the aggravation to write the email saying I want the USF Adobe Creative Cloud special deal. So this is where the link is. You do not need to pay for it. The JavaScript, I gave few links that I really recommend. Example, CodePin is a really fun one. And as you can see, again, you can create a dashboard, you can create a project and apply them. Again, this is a JavaScript. You see the HTML and what is it entail and how it been applied. So you have a lot of resources that you can use in order for you to do that. And a PHP, we will talk more about that throughout the semester, but again, I hope you will learn how to apply that, understand that in order for you to do that. So I now want to talk about more informal way. I will start about the history of a little bit about the history of the web, and I will end up with my own history and what I have done in the field in order for you to show that this field is still changes. Example, nowadays everything has to be connected in some form, in some way to social media. So I will not talk about social media specifically, but I can tell you that one of Facebook application is based on PHP technology, and a lot of apps are based on web technology, so they can be transparent both on your phone but also on the web. Example, Skype. Skype is a communication technology, and it uses PHP in order for them to generate a call and be able to see the user's face while they're talking. So this is part of the technology. This is part of what we're going to cover in this class. So a little bit about web technology and where did it start. It's important. It started with one name, one person that actually created, Tim Berners-Lee. He is the one who actually wrote about that and actually developed it, and he did not stop on that announcement. He continued to develop it, and I will show you what he has done later on. But again, he is from Switzerland, and he, together with the European Laboratory for Physics, generate the idea of the web. And the problem they tried to face was how they can communicate with other researchers and scholars around the world without them leaving their office. And so the idea that he came up with, it's hypertext link that allowed to open other web pages in order for you to communicate and send this communication across. So in order for them to create this platform or this technology, they had to have a document that would be transparent and easy to generate, and it's called HTML. So it's basically a markup language. It is a set of symbols that define the document logical structure that give you the essence of HTML. So basically, everything that you will see has in the HTML has the same syntax, beginning of the element and the closing of the element. Example, the body. When you will see a body, in this case, this is a code of HTML. If you see the title has a close tag of the title. Otherwise, it will keep on going. So you have to have a very logical structure to the HTML in order for you to create that, in order for you to have that. An example. I did not talk about software that we're going to support in this class. And in this case, I'm going to use two softwares that support the idea of the class. One is Adobe Dreamweaver, and when you subscribe to Adobe Suite, you will get also the ability to use Dreamweaver in addition to image editors such as Photoshop, and that will be great assets and great skills that you need to have. So this is the idea. So Dreamweaver, one of the features that they have is that you have graphical interface in one stage, and on the other stage you see the code. In comparison, compared to other HTML editors, that you write the code and you don't see the output unless you save the file as HTML and export it and then click on the browser in order for you to do that, to see it. And so this is the difference. Each one of us has different favorite. I don't like Dreamweaver because sometimes he generates junk that I don't like to see in my code. I'm very proud of my code. And so this is something that I want you to pay attention, because everyone nowadays can see your code. When you write the HTML, I can view your code and be able to see it. Example, and this is Yahoo. Let's go to Yahoo. And if I can see view, I can see the view page source, and you can see that there is a code behind that someone actually wrote in order for them to see what's behind the Yahoo website. So again, the code is something that we often take pride of, and I want you to take proud of, because this is something that you're going to take from other resources and combine them and learn about them throughout the semester. So the HTML is the end product, but in the middle we have the HTML and the JavaScript, and we have other technology that help you to do that. But the HTML also has a protocol, communication protocol, and the protocol allowed us to consist of two parts: the protocol itself, the HTTP or the HTTPS, which is a secure protocol, and the domain name and the internet protocol. So in this case, when you log to Google Help, you are going to end up in a domain name, a directory, and a file name. So those are the things that you're going to see throughout the semester, and especially when we're going to work with the website. You're going to register for the website, and it will generate a page that I want you to keep. Make sure that you have one password to your website, one password that is also to the control panel or the dashboard, and also to what you remember. Otherwise, it will be a mess. And so one password to all, and the idea, it will give you your username, your password, and it will give you also access to other platforms that the website provides. Example, this is the dashboard of the website that we are going to work, you can always change your password, but also keep in mind, I am very keen about that. I've been working in the industry for a long time. Losing password is the worst nightmare ever happened. So just make sure that you have a password on a piece of paper, so you will have the ability to do that. So you have the PHP admin, you have the database accessible to you, and you have the online manager, and you have the ability to upload or download files. Example, in the current file that you have, the website, you have, this is my address, this is what you're going to see. When you will upload a new file, example, I can upload a new HTML to the main file, because what happened is that you have a structure, you have HT docs, which is the main folders, and you have module 1, module 2, module 3, admin, data, image editor modules, and the files that you're going to upload. The main file in this case is index2.html, and in order for you to change this page to what you really want to do is to upload a new file. So you can edit it or you can upload it, and so you can upload the file. In this case, I created a new file based on the file I created here. I called it HTML index2.html. And by doing that, I can upload the file into the server and change the interface of my website. So this is part of what we are going to learn. I'm going to jump from the website. Always I'm going to jump from the website that we are going to learn and how to apply to it and what does it consist of. I want you to catch up. Otherwise, if you are late, please come see me so I'll be able to help you. Back to our subject, and again, the idea of the communication and ability to apply to it. One of the things that, in compared to any other programming language, the web development has have a body, and this body is usually called W3. And it has the idea of what is the content of the web technology consists of in order for it to be transparent to all development, web development. So this is part of what we're going to see and how to do that. In compared to other platforms or other technology that courses that you already took, the web technology consists of a back server and a front or the client side. The server is the back end, a database which the clients request information. In this case, the information is based on your files, and you will have another web server that will communicate to the database. In the two-tier system is based on I am the client, I'm connecting to the server, and the server send me back the files that I requested. Example, the index2.html. So my client browser connect to the server and receive the server interface. So JavaScript basically is a client-side scripting language that allowed web pages to develop more interactive website and web pages. And that's the objective of the class. The objective of the class is that you're going to create more interactive website in order for you to show some interaction, not just showing pictures, but also some interactive, so the person who visits your website will engage in your development and be able to understand what you are trying to do. So the JavaScript allowed you to turn static page into more application or games or calculation. Be able, for example, to create a shopping cart. So you are able to make a shopping cart and be able to purchase products. This is part of the PHP JavaScript that you're going to learn in this class. And one of the things that JavaScript is really good at is to create visual effects such as animation, again, to make the experience more entertaining and not just flat. Another type of structure that is often used is 3 tiers, which means there is a client tier, there is the processing tiers, and there is the data storage. And why I am so keen about you posting or creating the website on commercial free hosting company is that the zero fees allowed you to store data in a MySQL server that is part of your structure. So you're going to see how we move data, how we store data, and be able to apply it and process it. So where is the PHP? You talked about I started my conversation about 2 types of programming: JavaScript and PHP. So PHP is really a programming language, which means that is a server-side language developed to support the JavaScript and be able to apply or connect to databases or ability to create more interactive, and it's easy to learn. So I will try to cover that in the class, be able to learn the power of PHP. And again, there's a lot of company using this technology. Example, LinkedIn, the professional website, is based on PHP technology that allowed them to connect, allowed them to update, and not static website that doesn't show anything. So PHP is part of the platform that nowadays a lot of companies asking for new employers to have. So this is part of your opportunity to learn about that, to have the resource about that, and maybe apply that and maybe find your passion about that. Passion is really important because, as I can tell you, as a person who has been developing web technology for a long time, passion is part of the equation in order for you to do that. It's not going to be easy. You're going to encounter a lot of mistakes, spelling mistakes, syntax mistakes, server mistakes, and on and on and on. But this is where your passion learns how to overcome that. And I will be with you to help you to overcome that. The database, I said MySQL is going to be the database that we're going to learn. This is why I chose zero fees as part of the website or the platform that I want you to use. And again, if you find another alternative, you are most welcome to use it and apply to it. So what is your assignment? Assignment is that you're going to create your zero fees or any other website that you like to use as your first assignment. You're going to create, you can upload the file. For example, I saved the file that I created as HTML2, and I can upload it, and it will take time, and it will say yes, and I can save it. And now I have the HTML that I have as part of my structure. And again, this is where you're going to see a lot of mistakes. Example, the HTML, I did not spell it correctly. So I can delete the file and redo it again. And again, you're going to do that many times. This is not going to do one time or another. You're going to do it several times, and I want you to be patient. Part of the deal is to be patient in order for you to be successful. So this is my take. I want to end up this session to introduce myself. I know it's online. I know it's probably hard to understand what, with my accent, what I'm saying and what I'm trying to teach you. So I will tell you, I will try to summarize it. In 2007, I created the first Hebrew online newspaper, which is called Haaretz. And it's based on basically my understanding of PHP programming. When it first came out, I took all the data that the editor, the news editor in the journal, in the newspaper came up, converted into a platform that is text and able to upload it to the website. And this is the outcome. So you are most welcome to use it. The English version of Haaretz is haaretz.com. Again, try to see what it is. But that need not stop me, because again, I like to see visual, and I also teach visual communication and visual analytics, and I'll try to promote that throughout the semester. But this is what my work is begin. And so I worked with different companies, startup companies, that I try to promote my vision of visual in order for the user to be more accessible. Image Inc. was a company that tried to create platform based on Microsoft technology that allowed us to create online phone. It did not succeed, and because of technical and money issue, but that was the interface that I developed. Another interface that I developed is an email client and email server. That one of my biggest issue in life is that I get a lot of emails throughout the day. And so I thought, if I will be able to organize the emails based on 5 simple classification: new email, to read email, to do email, to respond or follow up, and sort it out as one circle, that will make more sense. And so I will be able to identify who is the sender, what is the subject. That will make more sense. Again, this type of interface never came out because of lack of finance, and the company was closed. So this is part of my work that I did in order for me to evaluate. I also try to do 3D over the web, and that's again the issue of animation and 3D. I'm very passionate about that. This is really important to me, that the visual display will be part of the structure or the communication we are aiming to do. I also did my PhD, and in my PhD I started to understand that people nowadays are very serious about the data, how they see the data, how they understand the data. And so I came up with the idea of Visual Alpha, and where I try to convert the data into visual. So again, this is what I teach in visual analytics, and I highly recommend that you will take it in the fall. And so this is what you're going to learn how to generate in order for you to communicate with a large database. So today I am assistant professor and I teach those subjects, and that's it for today. So again, everything is online. The assignment is online. You will get my PowerPoint presentation and the assignment. Everything will be transparent. If I am not making any sense, please come see me. I have an office hours. I'm also connected via Skype, or you can email me or communicate. I will always like to help. That's my job. Your job is to ask questions. So I hope you enjoy the semester in web technologies, and I hope you will have some fun. Until next time, enjoy.